Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Subject of my vlog today is what I don't miss about America after living in the Philippines for 3 years. But first of all, let me welcome my new viewers and new subscribers. Thank you so much for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of my channel. It's truly been amazing. I'll never take that for granted. I left the rat race in 2018, December, with a solemn oath never to return to the hamster wheel under no circumstances. It almost killed me. And I came to the Philippines in search of a new life, and I found it. And I want to share with you my boots on the ground experiences the only way I know how, by giving you the nitty gritty, exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, and what I'm experiencing. And I'm never going to sugarcoat that. What I don't miss about America after living here for 3 years. See, I get comments and questions all the time is, well, what do you miss about America? But no one ever asks me what I don't miss about America. So I just want to kind of address a few things that you can have over there. I don't want it anymore. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is in America, everything is over the top. It's all about having the biggest, brightest, gaudiest, latest. When I left in December of 2018, there were gentlemen driving around my neighborhood in fancy cars. But it wasn't enough that they had fancy cars, but they had these big, gigantic 28-inch rims and tires on an automobile. And I saw it so much that I guess I got used to it. But now when I think about it now, it's ridiculous. I was looking at a video the other day, and I saw it. I was like, that's ridiculous. Why would somebody do that? But that's America. Everybody wants to have the biggest, the brightest, the best, the latest. Everything's over the top. You go to McDonald's, man, and they got this big, gigantic 44-ounce small drink. I don't miss that. My daughter recently had a baby shower. She had a baby girl. I'm grateful. It's my ninth grandchild. After losing one, I lost a grandchild. If anybody didn't know, you've been following me, you know last October I lost a 4-month-old grandchild to SIDS. But anyway, she called me, she said, Daddy, I need some money. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe she's gonna buy, diapers, this and that. $145, I'm like, well, what do you need that for? The cake for the damn baby shower. See, I don't miss that. Everything's over the top. It's just too much for me. Now that I've moved over here and I look back and I'm saying, man, it's just not for me. I live a simple life over here. The next thing that I don't miss about America is how expensive it is over there. After living in the Philippines for 3 years, I don't ever want to go back to paying those prices. I'm going to feel that everything I buy is a scam. I'm getting cheated on everything. Having lived over here for 3 years and the low cost of living over here, when I go there and I'm paying these just extravagant prices for everything. Because when I left in 2018, my rent was $900 a month for a 3-bedroom. It was a nice house. I was renting, great landlords and everything. They were going up on the rent $940. Now people say, well, man, that's cheap. That's cheap. See, we've been paying so much for so long that we think it's normal. Now I get over here and my rent's $170 a month. So to go back to America and pay $1,000, I'm pretty sure that same house is probably about $1,000 or $1,100 a month. It's just too much for me. I would think everything I'm buying is just too expensive. I remember in 2009, I bought a brand new Toyota Solara convertible. $25,000 I paid for that. That's over $1 million. That's 1.25 million pesos over here. I built a house for less than that. So yeah, I don't miss it, man. It's very, very expensive over there. Y'all can have all of that extravagance and all of that stuff, man. I just feel like if I go back and start paying those prices again, I'm getting cheated. So I don't miss that. One real big thing that I don't miss over there is the divisions. America's very divisive. I mean, it's very divided. I'm sorry. And I can go all the way back to when I was little. You always have an adversary there. If you like one team, then the other team is going to be your adversary. If you're Christian, then a Muslim. If you're black, it's white. If you're Republican, it's Democrat. There's always an adversary. You can't escape it. I don't care what it is. And I just don't miss that, man. You know, over here, it just seems like there's a sense of community. And remember, I'm not fluent in the language. So a lot of the things maybe I'm missing, I'm not picking up on. But it just doesn't seem as divisive as it is in my country. I can't remember not having an adversary. Even as an insurance agent, the other companies, we call them competitors, man, they were adversaries, man. You'd have to go into a house after them, and man, they done talk bad about you and the company, and I just don't miss that, man. My channel's all inclusive, and I did that for a reason. You know, I try to talk about things that are going to bring people together, not separate us. I tear us apart. But yeah, y'all can have that over in America. I don't miss that. And it kind of goes with this next one. I don't miss the arguing over there. I haven't had an argument in 3 years, unless it was with one of my American subscribers. We will argue about anything. There's a reason why we say don't discuss religion, politics, sports, COVID now. You can add that to that. Because we will argue about it, but they don't argue over here about stuff like that. I don't even hear people arguing. I asked John, I said, man, when's the last time you heard somebody arguing? He couldn't tell me. But we argue about everything there, and I don't miss it. I mean, we will argue. I'll give you an example. One of my subscribers, and me and him had become friends, you know, as far as, you know, we can become friends online. I mean, him living in America, me living here, but we chatted just about every day and back and forth. Man, we got into a heated argument about plane tickets, the cost of plane tickets to the Philippines. My girlfriend was shocked. She was like, you can't do that over here. Somebody would shoot you. I said, this is a everyday thing over there. And I'd argue on the job, at the gym, at home, it didn't matter. You walk away, whether you're right or wrong, you got a headache. And I just don't miss that, guys. I promise you, man, I like the peace and tranquility that I have over here in the Philippines. They don't argue over here. Maybe they settle their problems some other kind of way, but they don't argue. I don't miss the rhetoric. There's not a lot of rhetoric over here, but I don't miss it over there. America's the greatest country in the world. Make America great again. All lives matter. Blue lives matter. Black lives matter. You know, at the end of the day, it's all about division again. I just don't miss all that rhetoric, because that's what it is. You know, we always at war, and then they want you to buy into that. You know, you're a patriot or you're unpatriotic, and I just don't miss that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I miss about America, but I don't miss the gaudiness. We've got to have the biggest, brightest, best of everything. 28-inch rims on your car. It's not enough that you got a fancy car that you spent a fortune for, but then you go and get these big 28-inch rims. Then they have to be gold. Then you have to put 20 speakers in the back, and then the big woofers in the trunk. See, I don't miss that. Everything's over the top in America, and it's expensive. I don't miss those high prices that I had gotten used to paying until I came over here, and after 3 years, man, that's one of the reasons I don't want to go back. I can't afford to live in America. But let me talk about this last thing that I don't miss about America. I don't miss the Joneses, man. I don't miss that. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, and everybody's looking at everybody else, you know, and it creates so much phoniness, so much fakeness over there. And I just can't deal with that anymore. One thing I can say over here, people are genuine. If you meet somebody and they say, oh, I'm a fisherman, more likely is a fisherman. You might meet a woman, yeah, I'm a teacher. They're a teacher. They're not trying to be something they're not, like we are over there. Everybody in I lived in like a middle class neighborhood. So everybody in the neighborhood, nobody had no more than nobody else. If you know, a sane thinking person, you think, well, if you had more than me, you wouldn't be living right next door to me. But the appearances, you know, of the Joneses, I don't miss that. You know, they want to make sure you know I got more than you. And well, my car's more expensive. My house is better. I've got solar now. And, you know, so it means I got to get solar. I just don't miss that kind of stuff, guys. I'm so thankful that I was born in America. I met a gentleman last night, and you know we were talking about the cultural differences, and I said, "Man, aren't you glad that you were born in America?" I said, and we had nothing to do with that. It was just fortunate that the wheel stopped and let him off in Houston, Texas, and let me off in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm very, very fortunate. I love my country. I put my life on the line for my country. I serve my country. I pay taxes. Even now, I vote. I don't break the law. But it doesn't mean that there's some things that I don't like. And after living here in the Philippines for 3 years, there's certainly some things that I don't miss. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Just a video just to address that, because people always ask me, Calvin, what do you miss about America? But they never ask me what I don't miss, man. It's expensive over there, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to go back. I don't think I could afford to live there anymore. I don't want to pay all that stuff, and then, you know, I'm just no longer a consumer like I used to be anymore. I'm no longer materialistic. Well, I'm not materialistic at all anymore. This is one of my most expensive purchases outside of my house over there. After spending $20,000 for a house over here, I couldn't imagine going over and spending $200,000 for a house, $150,000, whatever it was, for a house. So, if you're in America, it's getting late, and before you let your head hit the pillow, I hope you find somebody to intentionally help. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift, and you're on your lunch break, and you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. I woke up one Christmas day, I was on the floor of the crack house. This is a true story, man. I spent all my money, had nothing for I didn't buy my kids anything. I spent like $800 or something the night before, partying, you know. Party was over. I wake up, man, and it's a roach crawling across me, man. It was a moment of clarity, man. I had not bought my children not one thing for Christmas, man. They didn't have a Christmas. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, my wife at the time signed up for the angel tree. Even though I had a great job, and they were able to get something, man. And see, I don't ever want to forget that. See, when it comes to me helping somebody else, I don't ever want to forget that, because people helped me. They forgave me for all of that stuff, man. I got so many stories I could tell you, man. But that was one. I had a moment of clarity. I said, man, I got to do something with my life. My mother didn't raise me like this. You know, and here she is dead and cold in her grave, and here I am walking around, you know, pissing on her legacy, so to speak. You know, my mother worked her fingers to the bone to buy a little shotgun house in the west end of Louisville, Kentucky. And don't you know, me and my brother turned it into a crack house, and my sister had to step in and sell that little house. The lawyer ended up getting more money than we did. If in the Philippines, it's early, man. You see, I'm in Center Mall. Nobody's around. I love it this time of morning. It's already Thursday morning. By the way, thank y'all for all the birthday greetings to my son yesterday. He's 11. I'm proud of him, man. You know, he lives in Cebu. I see him. You know, he only lives maybe 2 hours from me. Pre-pandemic, I visit him all the time. But there's no excuse why we shouldn't go out and help somebody over here. I say it every day. Yeah, people are getting vaccinated here. Yes, businesses are opening back up. The economy is loosening back up, but we got a long way to go. There's so many people still out of work, so many people struggling, even before the pandemic. They need our help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.